Still on time. There you go. There you go. Relax. See everything come.
Sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who's mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Gervonta Davis has taken his training to an entirely new level, going toe-to-toe with heavyweights in sparring as he prepares for his clash with Jake Paul. Davis isn't holding anything back. He's been trading power shots with fighters much bigger than him. One recent session reportedly got so heated that the heavyweight looked stunned after Tank landed a thunderous punch that echoed through the gym.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
Gervonta Tank Davis is turning heads once again, this time by dominating heavyweight sparring partners in grueling training sessions. Famous for his explosive power at lightweight and super lightweight, Tank is proving that size doesn't define strength. In the latest footage, he's seen unleashing crisp, lightning-fast combinations that keep even the bigger fighters on edge. His control of pace, his defensive slips, and the way he fires back with precision all show just how locked in he is. Every movement reflects his focus, sharpening not only his power but also his stamina to withstand and overcome heavier, stronger opponents. It's all part of the blueprint for his upcoming showdown with Jake Paul.
Look like you're playing pool with a short stick. Ball in between them. Punch when he punch, yeah. Punch when he punch. Punch when he punch. Yep. They ain't stop firing. We slowed down. Now we're gonna commence firing again. That's what we do. We reload and come back. Yeah, you ain't gotta get close, Tank, because you know you're scared to get close. Get close, Tank. Keep rolling, Cam. All the way down the road. Come to me, baby.
Even with the clear size gap between Davis and many of his sparring partners, Tank keeps pushing himself against fighters who outweigh him by a wide margin. These sessions aren't about overpowering anyone, right? They're about precision and control. He's mastering distance, dictating tempo, and keeping his trademark explosiveness intact, even under pressure from much bigger men. His team explains that this kind of work sharpens his timing and angles, crucial tools for dealing with Jake Paul's unpredictable style. Tank understands that Jake's main advantage is size, so by constantly sparring heavyweights, he's stripping away that fear factor before fight night. It's a calculated approach built on discipline, confidence, and complete preparation for whatever comes once the bell rings.
Here's a clip of Gervonta Tank Davis releasing footage of him training and sparring with the heavyweight ahead of his showdown with YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, that's set to take place November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. Tank Davis is 5'4" and he weighs in at 135. His last fight, he actually was 133 pounds. Jake Paul is 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach, and he weighed in at 199 pounds his last fight. And fight before that, he weighed in at 224 pounds. Gervonta Tank Davis has a 67-inch arm reach. This is why this fight has to be ruled an exhibition and not a real professional boxing match, because no boxing commission would sanction it. Let me know what y'all think about this. As you see, Tank Davis is using and working on movement. Let me know. I'm gone. Peace.
Former UFC star and fight analyst Chael Sonnen didn't hold back when he talked about this matchup. He said Gervonta Davis is carrying the weight of boxing's credibility on his shoulders. No matter how much noise Jake Paul has brought to the sport, Sonnen believes it's Tank's job to remind the world what real boxing looks like. To him, this fight isn't just another payday, it's a statement. Davis's mission is to prove that skill, timing, and years of experience still matter more than fame or followers. Sonnen put it bluntly, Tank's not just fighting Jake Paul, he's fighting the circus around him. And if a knockout comes, it won't just be a win. It'll be a message to everyone who's forgotten what elite boxing truly is.
Which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in, I want to say it was like 8.
As fight week approaches, comfort zone. His coaches say the plan is simple: make training harder than the fight itself. The heavyweights challenge him to stay sharp defensively, move his head constantly, and find ways to generate knockout power against much larger opponents. Every round builds his confidence, proving that timing and precision can neutralize size and strength. It's an uncommon strategy, but one that shows exactly how seriously Davis is taking Jake Paul, not as a YouTuber, but as a real threat inside the ring.
Lucas, get him! Lucas, get him! Pick it up. Get that stick with the short stick. Go! There you go. There you go. Relax. See everything go. Everything come.
Veteran trainer and boxing analyst Teddy Atlas recently shared his thoughts on the matchup, giving high praise to Gervonta "Tank" Davis as one of the most complete fighters in the game today. According to Atlas, while many fans focus on Jake Paul's size, that advantage fades quickly once the punches start flying. What truly matters, he said, is experience, and that's where Tank holds a massive edge. Davis has gone toe-to-toe with every kind of opponent imaginable: slick counterpunchers, relentless pressure fighters, taller technicians, you name it. Jake, on the other hand, is still new to that level of skill and adaptability. Atlas emphasized that those asking, "What if Jake lands one big shot?" are missing the real story. The difference, he explained, is that Davis knows how to stay composed, adjust under fire, and turn chaos into control, something only a true fighter can do.
Do have one guy who, yeah, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter, he can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling it. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're gonna find out if he can dance. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, do the cha-cha. That's what's gonna sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else, that just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that, it's safer to do that. You don't have to bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that, but I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life. I don't care. But that's true. That what if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him? Or he jumps up in the air. Bang! And he hits him. Sid Terrace was a great fighter. No, not the 1700s, but years ago. And Cus D'Amato told me he loved Sid Terrace. He said, Teddy, he used to jump up in the air and hit you with 3 jabs. I said, whoa, man, Sid Terrace. All right. Anyway, look, I can't finish without saying that it invoke some memories and thoughts that we've been here before in a different way, where Jake Paul's brother fought Mayweather. That's not forget. And I'm not saying I like that either. I mean, first of all, Mayweather was past his prime. He was already retired. He was older, everything, but he's still the great Mayweather. And Mayweather was fighting a guy, what was it, 50-pound difference, 60-pound difference, whatever it was. And that size made a difference. It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who's mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Sports analyst Max Kellerman offered a more personal perspective on Gervonta Davis's mindset heading into the Jake Paul fight. According to Kellerman, Tank didn't take this matchup just for the headlines. Part of his motivation comes from wanting long-term financial security and more time with his family. After years of grinding through training camps and title fights, Davis reportedly wanted something that could deliver both excitement and a well-deserved payday. Kellerman noted that Tank has been thinking about slowing down, finding more balance between his career and personal life. In his eyes, this fight represents more than just business. It's a transitional moment. A massive spectacle that lets Davis enjoy the fruits of his success, while reminding the world that when he steps through those ropes, he's still one of the most dangerous men in boxing.
A guy like Gervonta, who I personally think has been checked out for way longer than this last fight. I think he was checked out prior to the Roach fight. I thought this was all going to be in the works, where he was supposed to beat the 16-1 Roach and then go on to fight Jake Paul and then call it a career, because I think the people around him understood there wasn't much left in the tank for him in terms of his want or his desire to be here. He did an interview with Dan Canobio about 18 months ago where he was like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left of boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but like I don't want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing's been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight. I'm like, there's no way we see that rematch. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul now. It's a cash out.
During the press tour, analysts Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora highlighted the clear contrast in personality between the two fighters. As expected, Jake Paul leaned into his showman role. Loud, confident, and always ready with a headline-grabbing soundbite to keep the cameras rolling. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, however, was the complete opposite. Calm, collected, and seemingly uninterested in verbal sparring. Mannix pointed out that while Jake excels at selling a fight, Tank's focus is on winning one. Mora added that Davis's silence isn't a weakness, it's discipline. Both analysts agreed that when the lights dim and the hype fades, it won't be words that matter, but Tank's timing, skill, and power, the things that truly separate a show from a fight.
Even though Jake Paul tried to egg him on and try to goad Gervonta Davis on, he's dealing with somebody that is not a quick-witted, thinker. He's not a quick-witted speaker. Tank Davis is explosive in the ring. He's fast and powerful in the ring. He's charismatic inside the ring when he's punching. But when you put a microphone in front of him, he's not articulate. He doesn't know how to quickly respond to people. He stutters a lot. He does more stuttering than talking. So Gervonta Davis in front of a microphone is not going to sell. So Tank Davis shouldn't be put in a podium like that. He should have speakers for him. He should have someone talking for him. He should have a mouthpiece. Tank Davis is not going to sell this fight. And Jake Paul knows it. That's the reason he kept throwing jabs at him. He tried to get Tank out of his shell. Tank's not quick verbally enough. He's not quick-witted. He's not quick with the tongue. So in order for him to sell this fight, he's going to have an adversary that can spit something back. Like, for instance, Chavez Jr., he didn't have that quick-witted a response, but he had the backing, he had the loyal following. And Chavez Jr., like many Mexicans, don't need to speak because they do all their fighting in the ring, and people know that. Tank Davis, I don't know, man. He didn't look good in his last fight. He's not fighting the killers in his division. People are getting off that Tank train, and we know that he's had his issues outside the ring. The love's not there anymore. Tank Davis is losing a lot of passion, a lot of followers, and people aren't buying this circus that Jake Paul's trying to sell. And I'm glad that people are getting off this train. The commission in Georgia got off this damn train. That's why they had to move this fight to Florida.
Former world champion Tim Bradley recently revealed some behind-the-scenes context about how the Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul matchup came together. According to Bradley, Davis didn't have many major options on the table before agreeing to this fight. He initially pushed for a rematch with Lamont Roach, but negotiations reportedly fell through. With limited opponents available and pressure building from promoters, the Jake Paul fight quickly became the most practical and profitable direction to take. Bradley explained that decisions like these aren't just about boxing skill. They're shaped by business timing, management influence, and broadcast politics. While some critics see it as a risky move, Bradley views it as a smart opportunity for Tank to reach a broader audience and secure a massive payday. In his words, no matter how the deal came together, Davis will step into that ring ready to remind everyone why he's one of boxing's elite.
You know, I do. I'm not making no excuses for Tank at all, but this is just my perspective, man. Tank had no other choice but to do this fight, man. He had no other choice. You know, he was in training for that Lamont Roach fight, and, you know, then the covers got pulled off, you know, and then this fight came about. You know, this is an inside thing, man. I swear, man, I'm telling y'all, this is an inside thing. You know, this is something that Al, PBC wanted Canelo to do, you know, because this is how they eat. This is how they gonna eat. This is how they gonna recoup, you know. As you know, PBC, they got no legs to stand on, man. You know, money going out, not enough money coming in. They got to spend their own bread, you know, for everything, you know, for everything. So, you know, they need money coming in. And their guy, Canelo, left. He with Turkey now. They wanted Canelo to do this fight. And now Tank is obligated to do this fight, man. Again, to save PBC. I promise y'all, man. I'm telling you. You know, Tank was already signed up to fight Roach rematch. He was already signed up, you know. You could just tell, man. I can tell, you know. Yesterday, listening to the press conference, I saw, like, I don't know what it was. It was something with Jalen Love, and it's like a secret. I don't know what that is.
After the press conference, some fans started questioning Gervonta Davis's mindset going into the Jake Paul fight. His calm demeanor, distant expression, and quiet reactions to Jake's usual trash talk sparked debate online. While some viewers interpreted his silence as laser focus, others wondered if he seemed detached or uninterested. The noticeable size gap between the two fighters only added fuel to the conversation, with many questioning how fair or competitive the matchup really is. Fans expected Tank to fire back verbally, but instead, he remained composed, almost unbothered. However, those within Davis's camp insist that his silence isn't a lack of passion. It's part of his mental discipline. Tank's approach has always been about conserving energy for what truly matters, the fight itself. For him, the talking stops when the gloves go on.
Jake Paul legitimately cooked Gervonta Davis in that press conference, and I really don't know how to feel about that. And to be honest with you, I still don't understand how boxing even allowed this to be made. Like, I don't. Like, dog, this is not an overstatement. Like, literally one of the core pillars holding up boxing is this literal, like, fake superiority complex that they have over literally every other combat sport. Despite literally being the least effective main combat sport there is. Brother, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, brother, I put judo over I put boxing. In terms of practicality of combat, oh yeah, 100%. Brother, if Jake Paul makes it competitive against Gervonta Davis, I'm looking at this like, brother. Oh, well, weight difference, brother. Gervonta Davis has been training his entire life. I'm sorry, bro. It's bad enough that the fact that if this was under any other combat sport, this would literally be like one of the most one-sided matchups of all time. And it wouldn't be in favor of Davis. No, dog, if you did this under an MMA rule set, oh my gosh, bro, Paul cooks Gervonta. It's not close at all. Like, round one finish level. Like, understand this, Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul is taking place in literally the only combat sport where Davis should win. I'm still shocked that they allowed it to be made. because, like, there's no upside. If Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis, now we're kind of looking like, wait a minute. What? Like, brother, don't forget. I still think it's a horrible look that Tyson Fury couldn't finish Francis Ngannou. That is so bad. Well, Francis Ngannou's a great boxer. Francis Ngannou, no joke, is one of the worst boxers to ever be in the UFC. He just has absurd power. No, look at the technique of Francis Ngannou. It's not that good. It's carried by power. Like, going into it, like, I'm hyped, but it's also, I'm looking at this like, bro, Gervonta has to finish, bro.